Hello everyone, welcome to a new reading. Today we are going to start off with the individual readings for Baby Monster, and I will go in age order, I think. Regardless, the first person that we're starting with is with Ruka, and I hope that you guys enjoy this reading. So, for those of you that have not seen this type of reading, we are going to check 4 different sections of her life, which will be her current energy, her career, her love life, and then any healing messages that come through. In the description below, I will have the timestamps in case you want to jump around different sections. And if not, let's just start off with her current energy and check out how she is doing right now. So what is Ruka's current energy? We have the Knight of Swords reverse. We have the King of Cups upright. And we have the High Priestess. So I don't remember her birthday, so I don't know what her sun sign is, but she has a lot of water energy with the King of Cups and the High Priestess. So the King of Cups is Cancer energy, and the High Priestess is representing the moon, which is the ruler of Cancer in astrology. So these two cards already kind of show there's a connection right here. Also, there's a lot of figures or people in her reading, quote unquote, and usually tarot readers do see court cards like the knights, queens, pages, and kings. I went out of order, but anyway, people usually see those as people involved in someone's life, but to me they have always been energies. However, in this case, I do feel that it's been highlighted to me a little bit that this could be people in her life, and this kind of shows me that currently there's a lot of external influences that are kind of leaving quite an impact in her life. And the impact that these people are leaving is learning experiences. So to start off, the Knight of Swords reverse tells me that currently she's learning to not be reckless. She's learning how to balance this thin line of taking action, getting things done, being curious, being adventurous, and taking risks in trying new things in her life without being reckless and without being too cautious. So there's this sense of freedom, this sense of movement, this sense of pushing forward. And I'm saying that also the Knight of Swords is Gemini energy, in case that is relevant to her. But the thing that I was going to say with the Knight of Swords is that upright usually talks about all of these positive things of moving very quickly towards something. Is the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight of all of them. And the Knight of Swords also talks about someone that is taking action, going after what it is that they want and desire in life. And because of that, they're moving forward lightning speed. With that being reversed, I do feel that there's this sense of she's currently in a state where she's learning how to have that mentality of moving forward, taking action, getting things done quickly, but in a way where she's not burning out, but also in a way that she's being cautious and not being super reckless about her actions. Is this whole idea of she's learning how to get things done in an efficient manner, and not be sloppy with her work, and not feel like she's just getting things done for the sake of finishing them and completing tasks. And it's more, as I mentioned earlier, this whole idea of being efficient. So getting things done in the fastest way possible, and also spending the least amount of energy in getting those things done. So she could be very busy at the moment. And I think she may be learning that from her peers and people around her age, since it's a knight that kind of just shows a young adult. Now, the King of Cups. Seems like there's another person that is highly influencing her on how to work with her emotions. So the King of Cups to me has always represented a person or an energy of someone that is able to stay very calm despite any chaos surrounding them. It is also the energy of someone that knows how to work with their emotions, with their creativity, and their intuition. And I do feel that this is very important because I don't know if she is simply the oldest one or if she will be considered the leader of her group of Baby Monster. I'm not too sure. Now I'm saying that because in YG groups there's usually not a official leader per se. There is definitely someone that is kind of the center of the group, but not necessarily a leader. So yeah, I don't know if she will be the leader of Baby Monster or not. Especially since she's a foreigner. I don't think. Well, actually, I don't know how YG does stuff, honestly. Anyway, so with the King of Cups, it shows that she is learning as well, or she's currently trying to master this whole idea of being able to work with her heart, with her emotions, trying to stay calm when things are constantly changing and transforming, and also trying to be compassionate and understanding and kind towards others. And again, this could also be since she's older, that she feels like this nurturing and even like motherly energy, since it's kind of, since I know the King of Cups is like a king, but remember that I mentioned the King of Cups is connected to Cancer energy, and Cancer does have a very it's its nature to be very motherly and nurturing towards others. So I do feel that since she's older, she may feel the she needs to take up this role of being like a role model, or like some sort of protector towards the rest of the group. So again, this King of Cups kind of shows that she's learning how to be stable, how to be mature, but also learning how to be connected with her heart and learning how to maintain that side of herself safe, but also being able to extend that caring energy towards others so they feel safe and secure. Now, the High Priestess, so another like water-ish energy, this shows that she is highly intuitive. She is working with her subconscious. She may be doing some shadow work as well, and she's learning how to manifest in a way that is not super active. It feels like she's working with her feminine energy, and usually when you're manifesting with feminine energy, it's this whole idea of attracting things into your life and attracting opportunities towards you. So I do feel that she is in this energy where she is just surrendering and trusting the universe. She is also currently learning how to be patient. So again, this whole idea of being able to take action and actively manifest and work towards her goals, but at the same time learning how to take a step back and letting go of control, so like that she can like just surrender to destiny and fate, so like that things that are outside of her control, she can just leave them in the back of her mind and just continue doing the tasks that, or like continue doing the things that will get her closer to her goals that are within her control. Also with the High Priestess, I do feel that she's currently learning how to connect to her subconscious, so like that she can work through fears and doubts that could potentially hold her back. And it seems like she's also constantly working to reach this untapped potential that she has within her, and this could be skills that will directly help her with her musical career, or is it could be indirect character traits and skills that could help her with her her personality, or with her as an individual, that will in extension can also benefit her in her career. Or it could also be that she is learning how to connect to this untapped potential in a way to manifest in a broader general way, which I mentioned earlier, of like the law of attraction or the law of assumption, this whole idea of just allowing things to opportunities and people and things to enter her life. So currently it seems like there's a lot of things that she's doing, and most of it, to like sum it up, is just learning. And this makes sense because in the group prediction that I did for Baby Monster, the very first question, which was like the current energy of the group, kind of showed that many of them are like polishing and training their skills. So I guess I'm not surprised that it will kind of come up in her current energy as well. This whole idea of just like learning and growing and improving. Now let's go on to the second section of this reading, which is the career part of it. And let's figure out what is going on with Ruka's career. Like what's happening there? What's up? So the card that came out is a full moon in Virgo with take inspired action. So remember the whole idea of like doing things but not for the sake of just finishing them quickly with the Knight of Swords that we talked about earlier. This full moon in Virgo is kind of like highlighting that once again. So what's going on with her career? Oh, we have new moon in Cancer with you and your loved ones are safe. which again I'm not surprised since she get the King of Cups and the High Priestess, which I mentioned Cancer energy earlier anyway. So okay, so with a full moon in Virgo, so full moons usually talk about being at the peak energy of manifestation, or like being in an energy where everything has built up for this moment type of thing. I randomly got the whole idea of like it's now or never, so it's time to take action, that kind of vibe. But with Virgo energy, we are talking about someone that is goal orientated, someone that doesn't mind doing tedious work, someone that is usually a planner, someone that organizes themselves very well in order to get their work done. And Virgo energy is very hardworking. They're very good at achieving their goals because they follow a routine. If anything, Virgos can get very frazzled or very nervous when their routine is interrupted or broken. And I do feel that in her career, this energy just kind of shows that she's very disciplined. She's very good at following instructions, and she's also very good at setting her own routine in order to continue improving her skills, and also to build like this bridge that will get closer to her goals. So going from point A to point B type of life. Also, if you see the imagery of this full moon in Virgo, it almost seems like the inspired action that she's taking is one that is motivated, or that is birth. Those are the words that came up. Well, basically that. What I'm trying to get at is that when she's calm, when she's relaxing, or maybe even meditating, when she's in that kind of stage, that's when she gets super inspired to take action. Because now she kind of has cleansed her energy, cleansed her mind, and that gives her the clarity necessary to take action in a way that is the most effective and beneficial for her. I do feel that there's this sense of like, by clearing her mind or cleansing her energy, she lets go of unnecessary baggage and unnecessary worries that could hold her back or limit her somehow. And that's why it's like this whole idea of take inspired action is one where it's like when she's in a good state of mind, so a healthy mind, healthy body, healthy soul, heart, however you want to put it. So when she's in alignment, that's the best time for her to take action and get things done. And also the other thing that I was getting is like this whole idea of like in her career, she works better when she has a motivation or a reason to get things done. So again, the whole idea of just getting things done for the sake of completing something it lacks the emotional satisfaction that will motivate her to get things done. And if she goes with an energy like that, it will be very difficult for her to get anything done. But if she does things in her career with an idea of like, this is getting me a step closer to what I'm aiming for and what my goals are, and those goals are connected to some sort of emotional link or an emotional channel of her, if that makes sense. It's this whole idea of like she is it's a goal that will emotionally satisfy her, then that motivation is something that will just naturally come through, and she will be able to get the tedious tasks necessary and responsibilities that have to get done in order to accomplish those goals a lot easier and a lot more manageable. Now we have a new moon in Cancer with you and your loved ones are safe. So a new moon talks about a new journey, a new chapter, the new start of something. And with Cancer, there is this whole connection, as I mentioned, nourishing and this motherly energy. But yeah, Cancer is connected to family. Cancers are the type that do have their boundaries set very well, and whoever is within their close circle are usually people that they really trust and deeply care for and will do anything and everything for them. Uh, so usually whoever they consider family. And family doesn't have to be people related by blood. Now, with you and your loved ones are safe, there is this whole idea of like she has a very strong support group when it comes to her career, or whoever she's surrounded with are people that she deeply cares about, or people that will help her in the long run. And this help is going to be like emotional support mainly. So I do feel that some of these people could be members from her group, of course, her family, and maybe even some staff, and maybe the fandom themselves will be people that will give her the emotional support she needs to have the confidence or the faith that things are going to work out in her career. So when it says you and your loved ones are safe, that just makes me think that she will either begin or establish in-depth connections with people that will make her feel a lot more secure and will make her feel safe enough to trust that everything's going to turn out well in her career. Now let's just take out some tarot to get a little bit more details about her career. We have the Knight of Wands. Well, there's too many cards, so I just need one more. And the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So when it comes to her career, it seems like, okay, so the Knight of Wands is Sagittarius energy, and the Ace of Pentacles reverse, there's this feeling with the Knight of Wands that she is gaining a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and maybe even like some philosophical ways of thinking when it comes to her career. So I don't know, maybe she is learning from higher ups, or she is doing a lot of research, a lot of marketing research of sorts, to understand the music industry that she's in, understand the idol world, understand K-pop in all its genres, what, in all its aspects, from like fan service to what is expected skill wise. Like, I don't know, maybe she's doing a lot of research on that, and it may be a bit overwhelming for her with this Ace of Pentacles reverse. There's this whole idea of like, she may feel like she's lacking on a couple of things. And when I mean lacking, I don't necessarily mean that it is true that she's lacking these things. I just feel that there's this sense of like, she may feel like she has to put more effort and more work in reaching the levels where she will feel comfortable or confident being in the industry that she's in. And I do feel that one of the reasons why that could be is because of just the standards and expectations people have of just idols in the K-pop world. Like, maybe she has read people's reactions about like the skills and singing and stuff, and that worries her, or that has become a concern of hers all of a sudden. Or she has been doing a bit of research on her industry because she's thinking of like the long run. With this Knight of Wands, it's making me think of how it's connected to Sagittarius, and to me, Sagittarius has always talked about someone that is very ambitious, in the sense of they are looking towards like the bigger picture constantly. So I do feel that with her and her career, since she's thinking of like this bigger picture, she's thinking of long-term goals, and she is thinking of what can she do today to be a step closer to some of the bigger goals that she has in mind. So this Ace of Pentacles reverse makes me think that she may feel a bit discouraged in her career, because she may feel like, I have these goals and this is where I'm at, but I don't really see the path that connects my present self to those goals that I have. So I do feel that since she has that mentality, this Ace of Pentacles is reversed. So there's this sense also with the Knight of Wands that she's constantly moving, taking action, going places, learning things. But I do feel that she's doing all of this to compensate over the fact that she can't see like a clear path, or she can't really plan a way to achieve some of these very big goals that she has for her career. So the Ace of Pentacles reverse makes me think that she doesn't even know how to start planning for these goals, or she doesn't even know how to, like, what to do to get like one step closer to accomplishing the success that she's aiming for in her career. So I don't think she's necessarily going through anything bad, as much as she hasn't experienced enough to understand what will be the best recipe for success. Um, that that's how that came out. So yeah, I do feel that this Ace of Pentacles reverse just kind of shows that she hasn't really started with her career, so she hasn't gotten enough first-hand experience to know what will be the best course of action to in order to achieve her goals and succeed in her career. Now let's go on to the next section of her reading, which is her love life. So what's going on with her love life? So a lot of cards fell, but I'm just gonna take the top one, which is a full moon in Libra with find a balance. So what's going on with her love life? And we have new moon eclipse with expect powerful change. So I want to point out that after Virgo, we do have Libra. So having a full moon in Virgo and a full moon in Libra feels quite special to me. Like it feels like going one step at a time. So if anything, this pattern being highlighted makes me think that she will prioritize her career over romantic relationships, but also sometimes even over herself. Because usually for younger groups, and I don't necessarily mean by age, I mean by like experience in the industry, usually younger groups in their love life don't talk about romance, and they talk more about self-care and self-growth. So I do feel that in her case it is also more along the lines of like working on herself and improving herself, which this new moon eclipse kind of shows that there is a lot of room for improvement. There's still a lot of things that she has not experienced yet. There are still a lot of rebirths that she will go through in her life. And I think this is simply because she's young and she's barely like starting and taking off with her career as well, which seems like it will have a big impact in her life, especially since that's going to be something she will prioritize and focus on big time at the moment. But with a full moon in Libra, find a balance. That makes me think that in her love life, one of the things that she's working on is cultivating beneficial relationships. And in this case, that makes me think of this new moon in Cancer that we talked about earlier. This whole idea of creating a strong support system, a strong emotional support system. So Libra is known for partnerships, and this makes me think that she is trying to cultivate, nourish, or establish one-on-one connections, links, and relationships with people. And this is between her group members, this is between the people that she cares about, like the people that she calls family. This could be even with friends, and this could also be potential business partners. So she's kind of already like leaving her mark on other like people that she could potentially work with in the future if she were to do something on her own. Or maybe she were to do something with a group, but at least she will already, like, she's already networking. That's what I'm getting at. And the final balance, that also makes me think that she's also working on herself. And this is something that we kind of already touched upon a little bit with her current energy. Like, she's already working on improving as a person and trying to be a bit more mature and knowledgeable in such a way that she is prepared for the future, and also, as we saw in her career, also preparing for her career. So this part of her love life is very clear, very straightforward. She's learning how to be in harmony, how to stay balanced. She's constantly thinking about the future, the path ahead. It seems like in her love life, she's practicing self-love and self-care, as well as just networking. It's like she's planting the seeds of potential projects and potential business proposals, if that makes sense. It's like she's already like leaving her mark little by little by just being kind to people, getting to meet people, and being open to new people entering her life. I think she is just doing all of these things so like that she can feel like there's connections she can like rely on if she ever needs something. But yeah, it seems like she's constantly thinking of like the path ahead. And I do remember that when I was meditating with this card once with the full moon in Libra, I heard like an ocean, or I heard moving water. So that makes me think that that is also very significant for her, because we did get a lot of water energy in her current energy as well as in her career. We do have Cancer, which is a water sign. So yeah, I do wonder if maybe water could relax her, or maybe she should continue hydrating, or maybe using water as a way to cleanse her mind and her body could be a method that she could use to maintain harmony and balance in her life. So when she feels very stressed out or something, maybe taking a salt bath, or maybe just taking a shower and just imagine all the negativity leaving her body as she's like um, relaxing, then that could be a method that she could use to kind of recenter herself and be in alignment once again. But I do feel that that could be a method that will be very helpful for her, because she will naturally go through a lot of changes and transformations that could be quite overwhelming. Now let's get more details for her love life. So we have the Ace of Swords reverse and the World reverse. So even though she's going to go through a lot of powerful changes in her life, there is this sense of there's a lot of things that are going to be put on hold for some time, because things are restructuring. So I'm getting like very strong Tower vibes here as well. So with the Ace of Swords reverse, it kind of tells me that she may need to work on creating and establishing a direct channel or connection to her spiritual team in order to understand the times that fate and destiny kind of plays a role in her life. It's like when things don't really work out, sometimes it's not necessarily because she did something wrong, and it sometimes is because the timing is not right, or maybe that project and that opportunity was not really in alignment to what she wants in her life, or something along those lines. So this Ace of Swords reverse tells me that there's this sense of needing clear communication with spirit. Also, there might be this sense of like, one of the things that she's working on is to learn how to speak up, and also learning how to have a clear mind in order to make better decisions, in order to take action in a cautious but efficient way, as we saw earlier with the Knight of Swords reversed. Now, the world usually talks about Saturn energy, so I do feel that in her life path, she's going to go through very hard changes. She's going to go through very big transformations that will stem from hardships, from difficulties and challenges. So I do feel that the world reverse is kind of saying that before she can find true order and stability in her life, she may have to go through some changes that could be quite overwhelming for her, or can be very disruptive to her routine. And she will, like, it might be beneficial for her to start practicing methods, ways, and maybe small actions that can help her find balance in her life. Because I do feel that she will be tested constantly in the future. Like, it's gonna be big changes and big transformations that she's destined to go through, but that doesn't necessarily make it easier. Like, they're gonna, like, her belief system might be challenged. Maybe again, she's someone that follows routines, and she gets quite nervous when her plans get disrupted. So the unexpected is something that she doesn't really look forward to. I mean, we did get that she may do a lot of research, so she does this probably to stay informed, so like that she can prepare for the unknown as much as possible. So, to end off her reading, let's jump into her healing messages. So, what are any healing messages that have to come through for Ruka? So, the first card that came out is the Skunk Spirit reverse with Know Your Worth. The second card that came out is a Swan Spirit reverse with Time for a Deep Dive. And let's just get one more card before we take a in-depth analysis of those cards. And a card that just kind of flipped out is the Turkey Spirit reverse with Give with Gratitude and Grace. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is this turkey, because it made me think of this practice that people have of practicing gratitude is one way of maintaining positivity. And this could be very helpful for a couple of things. One reason could be if you are losing motivation and you feel like nothing goes your way, in the sense of like you don't necessarily feel inspired for the future, you don't really trust or have faith that there's something greater out there. Practicing gratitude can definitely help nourish this side of us that can trust again and feel and look forward to the future once again in a way of like being able to dream, if that makes sense. So I do feel that she may experience, or she could actually be experiencing this right now, where she prefers to follow her routine, her rules, and her plans in such a way that she trusts that's gonna pan out into better results than if she were to daydream of something good out there. Now, the other reason why practicing gratitude could be beneficial is if someone is going through a very rough patch and they need like a boost of positivity. By being grateful of even the smallest things in life can make it easier to switch into this positive mindset. So sometimes just being grateful of being healthy, or being grateful of having the energy to stand up, sometimes those little things can like add up into something positive and create a healthier mindset. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. So I do feel that this could be either a tool or a skill that could be beneficial for her if she ever encounters hardships that are too overwhelming, or she may be already reaching that point where she may need this advice. And this could be because she's working so hard that she may have neglected herself for a bit. Because I do feel that she prioritizes her career a bit more than herself and other people. And I think that's because right now her focus is her career. So let's look at the other cards though. So the Skunk Spirit, Know Your Worth. With this card being reversed, there's this sense of like she's about to, or she is already learning how to embrace her uniqueness, her differences, and not being so tied down by conventions or by other people's expectations. It's like I'm getting this idea of like being the ugly duckling for whatever reason. It's like she's just learning to embrace what makes her unique and what makes her different. And she's learning how to not undermine her power and not undermine her own way of doing things. It's like finding this balance of acknowledging external energies and acknowledging external expectations, but not taking them so to heart to the point that it becomes detrimental to her own growth. Something along those lines. And with the Swan Spirit reverse with Time for a Deep Dive, I do feel this is kind of connected to this High Priestess, where she's just connecting to her subconscious, connecting to her heart, learning how to work with that, learning how to maintain herself calm when there's chaos in her environment, but at the same time learning how to stay, how should I put it? So instead of ignoring her emotions when things are difficult, it's like how to work with emotions, may they be negative or positive, in a way where she can acknowledge them and work through them rather than just like push them aside when things get difficult. Because I do feel that there's either it's already happening or there's this big warning or this big wave of energy that it's filled with obstacles and challenges that she will have to encounter one after the other. That this reading is kind of just, in a way, warning her or kind of advising her to start mentally preparing for such hardships. And I do feel that these hardships could be external energy of like, competition within the industry that she's in, or this could just be like her patience will be tested, her reputation could be tested as well. And by that I mean, like, one of the things about being idols is that many of them have to be quite cautious because it's this whole fight of like how much of myself do I show and how much of a mask or a shell do I have to build so it meets other people's expectations, right? So I do feel that this is just a natural course or a natural challenge that she will encounter since she's in the industry that she's in. It's like building a brand and building her persona as an idol, but also not forgetting that she's human, right? So it's like this whole idea of like learning how to be herself when she's under the spotlight, but at the same time also creating the beautiful illusion of what other people expect, but not at the cost of who she is as a person. Something along those lines. So I do feel that this swan is kind of just showing this whole idea of like just learning how to maintain this balance, learning how to keep herself sane were the words that came up. So not lose herself within the industry that she's in. So yeah. I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I find this reading quite interesting in the sense that I don't really know anything about BABYMONSTER. You guys already know that the reason why I'm doing them is because many of you guys had commented constantly about this group before they had even debuted in such a way that I was like, I'll work on them eventually. Simply because I'm like, I don't trust YG. I always go like, they have many plans and I don't know when they actually go through with them. So seeing how BABYMONSTER is gonna have like a comeback, then I was like, okay, maybe this is a lot more real than I thought, guys. It's real. It's happening. Anyway, do expect the rest of the individual readings slowly but surely. And I'll leave this here. So I hope that you guys found this reading entertaining or at least learn from it. I'll see you guys on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Thank you for all the love and support you have shown me and my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye.